Artificial intelligence is everywhere. In the next few years, it will be integrated in many devices and social media, and in a way, I think it already is. Hi, I'm Paul, a voice actor from the Netherlands who has settled down in Vermont. I am also quitting the voiceover business, and in this series, I'm telling you why. Quick reminder that these are my thoughts and my observations. It's my analysis, and do with it what you want. Don't agree with me because what I say sounds okay. Hear me out, do your own research, and make up your own mind, okay? Please. When I first came to the United States, I made some money on the side as a freelance translator. In less than a year, I got priced out of most of my jobs that were not paying much anyway, thanks to translation software. Software that never sleeps, never gets sick, it doesn't need any vacation or maternity leave, and only requires a modest upfront investment. Granted, this was software that was by no means perfect, but it was good enough. In the beginning, these artificial translations were very literal, but gradually the software started to understand things like context, irony, and even humor, jokes. It was able to learn. Translating literature still required a human hand, but especially non-fiction could be translated by a machine in a matter of minutes at a fraction of the cost. And now the folks that are perfecting text-to-speech software and AI voices are coming for your jobs, your voiceover jobs. It's happening as we speak, or should I say as we stay silent. And don't think for a second that we can put that genie back into the bottle. It's out and it will stay out forever. The time when these fake computer-generated voices sounded like robots is far behind us. Using only a few minutes of a recording of your voice, nefarious characters can create a spitting image of the way you speak and program a computer to call your parents using your virtual voice and ask them to transfer money to any bank account anywhere in the world. Voters are being fooled by a computer-generated voice of our president, telling them to stay home instead of going to the polls, manipulating the outcome of the election. International instigators can clone the voice of, let's say, Vladimir Putin and have him threaten to pull the nuclear trigger if his demands are not met. Don't you love it? If we're unable to tell fake from the real deal, whom or what can we trust? Legislation does not keep up with technology. It never has, so we lack legal protection. I'm painting with broad strokes, I know that, but you get the picture, right? And don't tell me people will always prefer the real thing. I grew up with margarine and Tang orange because it was cheaper and it didn't taste half bad. It was easy to get used to, and I didn't know any better. These days, authentic is the big buzzword in voiceovers. You have to sound and be authentic. But if you spend 5 minutes scrolling platforms like TikTok, you see that people are touching up reality all the time. They use fancy filters to create a flawless, inauthentic face and camera angles that only show the good and never the bad or the ugly. I mean, look at me. I just picked a nice background. That's for a reason. People actually prefer fake, especially the younger generation. It's all about the nearly flawless image that we want to send into the world. We are getting more and more used to these artificial voices that handle our checkout at the supermarket, that tell us where to drive in our cars, that can read our newspapers to us, and that are used in voice response systems. And it doesn't stop there. TikTok has just introduced avatars that look and sound like real people who can do the talking for you, and it's free. I mean, can you compete with free? Radio stations are experimenting with AI, and movie studios replicate the voices of their stars for dialogue replacement and touch-ups. They've been doing that for years, so they don't have to pay astronomical fees to their celebrities. AI goggles, have you looked into them? AI goggles like Apple's Vision Pro allow you to step into an artificial world, tricking your brain into believing that what you see and what you hear is real. Listen, people, we're getting baited and hooked. Yes, we are baited and hooked. Anything that does not require authenticity is fair game. Let me repeat that because it's important. Anything that does not require Any degree of authenticity is already fair game. So far, AI can't bleed or cry, but I'm sure they're working on it. If you can make people believe that they're listening to the sultry voice of Scarlett Johansson, a voice created by AI, I think the sky is the limit. And just like the translators were replaced by software, voiceovers are replaced by AI every single day. Especially people that are not trained actors, the ones that make a living reading non-fiction scripts that don't require them to emote, are losing their jobs to machines left and right. This trend can only be stopped if enough consumers care. And I have a feeling that very few people care about the ethical implications of AI or about the fate of us poor voiceover talents. All we do is read, right? How hard can that be? We're invisible, so what you don't see does not affect you. Listen, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I've seen the writing on the wall. Jobs that require a whole spectrum of human emotions and authenticity are still safe. But for how long, I honestly don't know. Any technology that will cut costs and increase profits will be embraced by people who don't give a damn about ethical implications. And it's one of the many reasons that I'm leaving the voiceover business. What do you think about all this? Let me know in the comments. Do you think you'll be replaced by AI? Shoot me a line.